Hey, local business owners. So here is why Google isn't showing your website on their search engine. So if you're a local business owner, be it a plumber, roofer, HVAC tech, electrician, or landscaper, even dentists, divorce attorneys, family attorneys, so long you run any form of business online and your phone isn't ringing like it should, I'm going to show you exactly why and how to fix this in this video. So your website is basically invisible on Google. That's why it's not showing. Not that it's broken, not that it's ugly, it's just invisible. And here's the crazy part. It costs you way more than you think. We're talking thousands of dollars every single month in lost customers who are finding your competitors instead of you. Given the next 10 minutes, I will show you the reason Google isn't showing your website. Plus, I'll walk you through a case study. We have got 16 real customers without spending a single dollar on ads. And this is the case study we're talking about and how we're able to generate this number of qualified prospects looking to get their gutters installed or looking to hire gutter service. And this was just from a simple one-page website that we built. And I'm going to show you exactly what makes this page important, what makes Google love this website, the components that actually made it to rank. And it costs basically less than $100 to get this ranking on Google to generate this number of leads within a year. So if we had imputed even more money into giving the website some love, we would have generated 5 times the results we are getting right now with these leads. So here's a problem most local businesses face. When someone in your city searches for your service, Google shows them 3 main things when they search for your service in your city. I'm going to do a proper search. So once we go on google.com, so basically a lot of persons looking to hire home service business, the first call is to go on Google. So maybe they don't have friends that much, or they couldn't just get to a friend. Sometimes it's an emergency problem. So a person could just type in dentist near what kind of city am I going to use? So let's say near Mobile, Alabama. So they are kind of the very top ones that actually going to show. Sometimes you usually have the sponsored ads before the story section. So you have the sponsored ads above the places here. Then you have this section here. Then before you have this organics. So basically that's how people get found. So if you're not showing at the top of this search page of results or here, you're most unlikely not going to get the calls for when someone searches for your service in your area. So most people just don't know that right below the map pack, there are the buildings, which is a regular website. This is the one I showed you, that it's possible for you to rank here and also get calls from Google. It might not be as much as getting this map section here, but you still get a ton of calls. So what's this costing you actually? So let's do a quick math. If you're a local business owner and each new customer is probably worth anywhere from $3,000 to $2,000 to you, sometimes way more if they become a repeat customer. Now, if 5 people search for your service in your city every single day and they all go to your competitors because they can find you, that's 150 persons per month. Let's say just 10% of them would have called you. That's 15 customers you didn't get. At $500 per customer, you just lost $7,500 this month. Next month, same thing happens. That's around $90,000 per year sitting on the table. And what most businesses and what most business owners do, they start paying for Google ads and Facebook ads, spending anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 every single month to rent visibility. The second they stop paying, the leads stop coming. I'm in no way saying running Google ads or running running paid marketing is not an option, but you want to have this organic featuring by Google kicking naturally, such that, because it's an uphill battle. Let me kind of say what I'm telling you right now. So let's say we're looking for roofing in Sugarland, Texas. I don't know why the map section isn't showing here. Just hold on a bit. Let me say Google USA. I don't know why. So let's say roofing McKinney. Whoa. I don't know why this section aren't showing. Okay, I did a couple of search anyway. So let's say someone searches for professional gutter repair in McKinney. You see all of these sponsored ads here. It's an uphill battle because a lot of businesses are trying to compete for these particular keywords for the same service you're trying to compete for. So Google tends to raise the price up in order for you to show up at this highest point here. So the businesses that are showing way up in number one search here for the sponsored section are paying way more than businesses that are showing right here, and are paying way more than the businesses that are showing below the search engine results. So it's a constant increase in price. So I will not tell you to actually stop paying for ads. You could do that because that is the bread and butter of your business. But you could also have a permanent means of getting your online visitors without having to pay for ads, or probably reduce the ad spend. So it kind of helps you in between. So you save more money. So if you can save $1,000 as against spending $2,000 every month on ad spend, that's $12,000 in a year in savings already. That could mean a lot for your business, for expansion you're looking to do. For a new hire, to pay out your customers, your employees' salary for a few months. So I'll walk you through a case study we did for a gutter company in McKinney. So it was more of like a case study I did myself to see exactly what Google ranks for a local service business and some very key components. It doesn't have to be complicated because this website, believe you me, it's not complicated. It's just a single page website. There's nothing literally this, that's all. But there are key components of this website that is making Google love how it is being presented and why Google is showing it to customers when they're searching for gutter service in the area. The chief of them is the title tag. So basically, the title tag is something that tells Google exactly what your website is all about. That's one of the first things we did. No. That's the second thing we did. The first thing we did was get an exact match domain. So an exact match domain simply means, okay, the service you render plus the city you render it with, that you render the service in, you want to get a domain for that particular service. So as against using a generic domain, like say, so as against using, so let's say your name is Peter and you have your sons, let's say Aaron and Moses, then you want to use something like this. PM franchise.com as your gutter naming convention. Yes, this might work, but for some reason over the years, Google tends to favor an exact match domain, and that's the reason. That's one of the reasons we are able to outrank our competitions for most of the keywords that we target. You can see this one, rain gutter installation McKinney. We're ranking number one here for this specific keyword. And if you go down the list, you will see we're ranking on the first page of Google for most of the keywords, gutter guards, and several ones like this, gutter cleaning McKinney. So we're ranking almost everywhere, like on page one for most of these keywords. So this is one of the reasons. The second one is the one I mentioned the first time before, is the title tag. You also want to include the service you render and the city in which you render the service in your title tag. It's a must. Then you now go to the headline, which is your H1, which is your heading 1 tag. So this basically is the heading 1 tag. So you want to impute the services you render alongside the location you render it, but it has to make meaning, it has to make sense to both the user and also to the search engines. Then another thing we did was uh, created a section for service that listed all of the services we render and basically talked a brief about the services just to get any user who's engaging on the website to understand exactly what each of the services entail. This is quite too detailed. We might just have, if I were to do this for a customer, I just have just the storylines and we wouldn't have this one down here. So we just have just the storylines and make it down spot installation. The same thing with Godot installation. Just these two lines perfectly fits. And you could just have separate pages for each of these services such that you have the structure and you kind of boost your rankings within Google. Google tends to see you as an authority because you have more pages, more specific pages talking about a specific type of service. But in our case, it was a case study, like I said, so we just dumped everything on the same page. Then you could have some trust markers. Why should they choose you? Are you insured? How long have you been in business? What kind of material do you use? What kind of quality of service the customer is tending to have? So basically, those are the things we actually put on the page. Then we kind of wiggled in a testimonial section that talks about how customers saw our service and the kind of reviews they are leaving for us. This is fake anyway, so but it kind of gives Google the trust signal because it's pretty basic for every business website. It doesn't even have to be service business. Any kind of business, you need to have some sort of reviews or testimonials of some sort. Then we had this form basically. Mind you, this phone number it doesn't work. So if we had this a working phone number, we would have gotten even more calls than the 16 leads we had the entire of the year with spending just $100 or less. And another basic thing we did, which is quite important, is the frequently asked questions. So you want to answer as much queries that your users are searching for so as to give them an insight to the kind of service they're going to get from you. So whatever question it is they're looking for, they don't have to go search for it elsewhere to see everything on your page. They stay longer on your page. It gives Google the understanding that people love your page and they tend to show you more in the SERPs. Then the last thing we did was include the areas we service. So we didn't just include neighboring cities. We include zip codes that are peculiar to McKinney. Another thing you could do, you could wiggle in popular street names, popular restaurants, popular bars. So popular landmarks that could tell Google that, okay, this is hyper local to McKinney. So basically, that's all we did. We built out this website entirely with WordPress, and it's a pretty basic template. It's not that complicated. It's something just on the go. You just get something like this. If you're interested in this template, I have it and I can give it to you completely for free. You don't have to pay anything. So this is basically how we built out this website, and it's ranking on the page 1 of Google for relevant search terms. And it's something you should have under your belt. And this is how we were able to generate 16 leads in the past 1 year with spending just $100. So there are specific things we didn't do. There are some specific things we didn't do, which I'm going to dive deep into. So if you were to do this for yourself, you would, aside from getting a domain name, which costs $15, as you can see on the Namecheap here, you could also get hosting for $24, as it was free because we had a major hosting that we use to host our website. Then you could get listed. So we also got listed on over 400 directories. We use this guy on Fiverr, Mohammed Wahid. He did that for us for $75. You can do this for yourself also, but it's a lot of directories. It's a lot of hours, and if you spend these hours trying to run your business, I kid you not, you're gonna make even more money doing your business. So $75 is way less than you trying to do it yourself. Then what we didn't do is issue out a press release. A press release basically gives us even more placements. So we get mentioned in over, if you use this one, 150 placement, but usually I advise my clients to use the premium plan. Gives us up to 400 placements, I think. So it gives us up to 450 guaranteed placements. So basically, a press release is just introducing your business, what kind of service you render, something for Google to pick up anyway. So sometimes you could get a sale from there, but it's not 100% guaranteed that you would even make a sale from the public announcement. So if I were to do this all over again, this is how I'm going to do it. Then, then we did indexing. So after getting all of these links coming into your website, Google does not see most of them. So you want to run it through an indexing service that allows Google to find these pages on your website. That basically costs us $20, and we use ChatGPT to write this content. You could just subscribe to ChatGPT for $20 a month, and you'll get all of this content all sectioned out. And that's it. So we launched this website basically in November of 2024. Our first lead came in somewhere on January to 25th of January. But we got our first lead, and 16 qualified leads over the period of 1 year. So, like I said earlier on before, if we had had a real phone number on the site, we could have generated even double the amount of leads we had. These were entitled kickers. These were real people looking for gutter repair. This one came within this month, October 22, 2025. They're looking to install gutter guards for their house. This one came somewhere around last month, so looking for gutter installation estimate and their house. So these are real persons looking for these services, and they went through. So all of them went above the mark pack. They didn't just sit down at, okay, well, it's just the mark pack. They went below the mark pack to actually get this thing done. So another thing I want to advise local business owners, you can see there's, like I said earlier on, there's a reason why this domain is ranking on Google for these specific keywords. So the competition in your area might differ a lot. So that there's a strategy we use for local businesses trying to implement this for a gutter company in Texas. So you could have multiple of these domains such that you give yourself a harmful opportunity to rank even better on Google. So what am I saying? So if you have multiple cities you service, like if you check your map areas and you see that there are neighboring cities that you could service. So instead of trying to target those entire cities with just one website, it does work. Believe you me, it does work. I can tell you this because, as you can see, Yelp, their homepage is not targeting gutter service in McKinney, but it's an inner page that's actually targeting gutter service in McKinney. So it does work. But you can see our website ranking here. All of these websites are using their inner pages to rank, but there's a reason this website is still ranking on the first page of Google with even lower authority as compared to this. So we want to leverage on the fact that Google loves the home page of your website talking about the specific city in which you render the service in. So you can still have sub pages in between that talks about other cities you serve, but you want to ensure that for each city that you're trying to serve, you want to have a website for it. And believe you me, it costs just $224 to build out one. So if you have 10 locations you service around your area, $2,240 gets you all of these things done. That is if you're doing it yourself anyway. We charge way higher than that if we're going to do that for you. But I kid you not when I tell you it's going to pay for itself over time. Take this lead for example. If I were to sell this lead to a gutter contractor, we'll definitely sell this lead upwards of $100 to $150 per lead. That's way above the price we actually spend building out the website. And like I said, we had up to 16 leads coming. That's almost $2,000 worth of lead in an entire year for a site that cost us less than $100 to build. So it's something that you're going to actually get back your money on return, even within the first year. So it's an investment in the future. SEO takes time. It takes anywhere between 6 months to 9 months to actually see a result. But in our case study, we built out the site in November, and January we already got our first lead. We didn't do so much on the site. There are a lot of things you could do on the site, but we didn't do those. So you could actually build out separate websites for each of these. So this is a service we are currently rendering in our agency. So if you onboard us, we build out this micro niche website. So when I call it micro, I don't mean just one page website. So we build out this specific page website, and it has a way we build them out. We build out the home page. So for here, for each of the website, you have an home page, a service hub page. So you have dedicated service pages that you actually render. In our case, we have dedicated service pages: gutter repair, gutter installation, gutter replacement, downspout repair, downspout installation, etc., etc. Then we have one location hub that displays all of the locations the service. So in our case, 8 surrounding pages. Then for each of these locations, we'll now start having a mix of each of the service we render. So let's say you service. So let's say this is Gutters McKinney. So you have our location pages for a specific service. So we could have something like another page for location, which targets, let's say you're targeting Prosper here. So in Prosper Town, we will target our service page in Prosper Town. Now, service page will target our service page will target gutter repair. So basically, that's how the structure of the website is going to look like for each of the specific locations that you service. That's going to make up the 67 to 100 page, because we're going to do a mix of blog posts to kind of strengthen the site overall. So while blog posts does not actually bring in revenue, but it does build the authority Google needs to rank your website higher. So this could generate you anywhere between 2 to 5 qualified leads per website, and that could generate you anywhere between 14 to 35 leads per month, which is a lot for most businesses. So what we're offering right here is we could walk you through how you could do it yourself. You just need to book a free discovery call with us, and we'll see exactly how to help you out. And by all means, we are doing a free promo to test out Google Business Profile Optimization for businesses. So if you're watching this, if you're a local business owner, you can take advantage of this. We actually help you optimize your Google Business Profile. We'll get it ranking, we'll get it optimized such that you get calls before you pay. So you see results before you pay. So while you might want to stick with us, we don't just build out this website and just disappear. We optimize, manage your Google Business Profile every single week. If you don't have one, we'll help you in setting up one for your business. We'll help you optimize it fully, that it bar reads 100% on the Google Business Profile completion page. Then we help you with automatic review collection system, such that with just a swipe of a button, sends out automatic reminder to customers you've serviced to leave a review for your business. Then we also set up a missed call text back with a unique tracking number for each site, such that when someone calls you while you're busy, it automatically takes them back and follow up with them. So an AI automatically follows up with them in order for them to book a call with you and such like that. So then we also install an AI widget on your website that books appointment on autopilot. And we stay on top of every Google update because they are constantly changing things. So we want to help you as much as we do. So we have a risk-free trial for Google Business Profile Optimization. You pay only after you see results. And if you want to stop renting leads from Google and Facebook or reduce the ad spend a lot, then book a phone call and let's get your phone ringing. If you enjoy this kind of video or if you have questions, leave a comment and I'll be sure to make a video replying to that comment. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.